All right, our senior Central Kenya reporter, Carol Nderi, now brings you a reality check from the ground of Kirinyaga. But before we go to that, let's now give you some of the tidbits, some of the highlights from the county of Kirinyaga, as we have doing here on 47 Days of Accountability. Today is day 4 of that particular of our coverage. And let's start with the health department in the county of Kirinyaga. And in one case, let's take a look at a problem that is non-completion of projects initiated by the Kirinyaga county government. And this happened in September 2015, according to the audit report, when the physical verification of these 3 projects was done. That is the mortuary, construction of a mortuary, the X-ray unit, and a borehole. Now, it was abandoned in 2014-2015. No explanation was provided as to why these particular projects were not completed. And the borehole project was begun in 2013-2014. The other 2 were commissioned a year later, and there was not enough money to do those 2 projects, yet it was commissioned nevertheless. Now, the second place is non-operational projects. These are projects that were not done by the county government of Kirinyaga. They were done by the CDF in that county from various constituencies, but were handed over to the county government for operationalization. Now, this is 7 completed health facilities handed over on the 24th of February 2014. Kimbimbi Hospital Mortuary handed over by the Mwea CDF. It was handed over to the county government. It was not completed. Dispensaries handed over by Kirugoya and Kirinyaga Kutu CDF, including Kiamuruga, Ngaru, Kianderi, Kiawakara, Kiaritha, and Kamuiru. All this handed over to the county government. But by the end of that financial year, 2014-2015, they had not been completed by the county government. No explanation was given. Stalled projects, of course, subject to deterioration and vandalism if the situation is not solved. Now, let's take a look at the mortuary construction cost for 2 sub-county hospitals. This is a ballooning cost that was not explained. The first one was Kirinyaga, Kirinyaga sub-county hospital mortuary. The amount that was given by the county government that was needed to construct this mortuary was 4 million Kenya shillings. The amount of money that was spent to finally construct the Kirinyaga sub-county hospital mortuary was 17,745,192. That is a difference of 13 million Kenya shillings. The second one is Sagana Sub-County Hospital, which was given, the cost was given again at 4 million as the first one in Kirinyaga. But at the end of the day, the money that was spent to construct that particular hospital mortuary, 17,917,690, a difference of a lot of money that could have been used to do something else. Let's take a look at another issue that is exceeding budgetary allocations. This is in terms of spatial planning of the county of Kirinyaga. This is in terms of land, housing, and urban development. The cost that was given by the county government was 32 million Kenya shillings. Now, the problem with this particular finding from this audit report is that there was no advertisement for the expressions of interest for the project, which was given to the Technical University of Kenya. By 30th June, the county had already paid 10 million. It is not clear if that 32 million was a fair price to the county of Kirinyaga, and it is not clear how that was given to just a single sourcing in something that could have also been given to other public as well as private institutions. Now, let's take a look at the issue of exceeding budgetary allocations, an issue that has been the Achilles heel of many county governments in the past 3 years or so. The critical balance between what to spend on the recurrent expenditure and what to spend on development. Now, in terms of salaries, the county government of Kirinyaga needed 1.7 billion, that is not million, 1.7 billion, and to pay salaries in the financial year 2014-2015. What was paid was 1.6 billion. That means there was an excess which cannot be explained of around 172 million Kenya shillings, which could have been used for the development because this is recurrent expenditure. Let's take a look at what the county government also requested for to pay salaries for ECDE teachers. This is Early Childhood Development Education teachers. It requested 151 million Kenya shillings to pay the ECDE teachers. What was paid at the end of the day, at the end of the 2014-2015 financial year, was 48 million. Again, a difference of more than 100 million, which cannot be explained, which could have been used for development budgets. And finally, let's take a look at something else, and that is irregular payments to the county, to the Council of Governors. The county government of Kirinyaga paid 12.5 million Kenya shillings to the Council of Governors. But the problem with this, as has been happening in many of these counties, is that there is no basis for these payments, because according to the Intergovernmental Relations Act of 2012, the monies, funds for the county, for the Council of Governors are supposed to come from the national government, not the 47 county governments. So those are the highlights from the county number 020, the county of Kirinyaga. Now, let's put some more perspective to that story. And our senior Central Kenya reporter, Carol Nderi, now brings you a reality check from the ground in Kirinyaga. Take a look.
A county that thrives in agriculture, Mwea, particularly famous for rice cultivation and production, the largest in the country in rice production. Coffee, tea, as well as horticulture farming, all these significantly boost the economy of the people of Kirinyaga. At the helm of leadership is the Governor Joseph Ndathi, his Deputy Governor Julius Njiri, Senator Daniel Karafa, and Women Representative Winnie Njuguna. There are 4 constituencies in this county. Delving into the Auditor General's report, there are conspicuous issues raised on the expenditure of the county. Starting it off is the non-completion of projects, and cites the Sagana Sub-County Hospital as an example. The report points out 3 incomplete projects initiated by the county government. This is based on a physical verification that was carried out on 26 September 2015. A mortuary, X-ray unit, and a borehole. The report says there has been no explanation provided by the stakeholders. During the president's visit here at Kirinyaga town, the residents shouted in unison asking for mortuary coolers. It emerged that though the mortuary at this hospital is almost complete at the level 4 general hospital, it lacks coolers for body preservation, and of course that hinders normal operations as there would be in any morgue. Tiwairimu sells her groceries outside the hospital, and she says that what the Kirinyaga County government needs to do is to expedite the installation of the coolers.
Mortuary imejengwa, iko ni kubwa imejengwa lakini haina fridge.
When we sought to get the views of the governor a day after the president's visit, we were informed that he was out of town. We then looked for the Deputy Governor Julius Njiri. Njiri, whom we caught up with at Mwea, says as a Deputy Governor, he has not been able to do the much he'd like to do in terms of implementation of projects.
We don't have much time to talk. Yeah. And you see my position is inferior. Yeah.
Still on the mortuary issue, the Auditor General raises queries on the ballooning of the mortuary construction costs from 4 million shillings to over 17 million shillings. The county government entered into a deal with the Technical University of Kenya for a county spatial plan preparation that would cost 32 million shillings. The problem here is that the Technical University of Kenya was single-sourced. This denied other public and private institutions the opportunity to express their interest. The argument from the county government, as indicated in the report, is that direct procurement was used because the service was advisory and intellectual in nature. The report singles out that there was no way to know if the price of 32 million shillings was fair and if the county got value for money. Then, exceeding budgetary allocation has been highlighted in the report. County government asked for 1.7 billion shillings for salaries but then paid much less. The actual budget was 1.6 billion shillings, meaning they had an excess of 172 million shillings, which could have been used for development.
Iko hivyo, corruption, kila kitu tushazoea, so mimi naweza tu sema watu tu wafanye tu kazi yao. Gava iendelee kukula, ni shauri yao pia.
So many projects. For example, more irrigation scheme. It's in Kirinyaga. We are feeding our country with rice. So our parents, who are the farmers here, they are people who should be very developed. Our county should be among the best counties in Kenya.
I'm not really happy because they have, okay, in a certain, in some circumstances, they have done a lot. But still, there is room for improvement.
Tangu tuchaguane, hiyo miaka ya kwanza, alikuwa anafanya kitu.
Kama hii barabara ya kwetu tulikuwa tunakanyanga matope na saa hii iko sawa.
There was also irregular payment to the Council of Governors. 12.5 million shillings paid out to the Council of Governors. Yet, according to the report, there was no basis for the said payments based on Section 37 of the Intergovernmental Relations Act 2012. This is because the Council of Governors funds come from the national government. No receipts were issued for this statement. Carol Nderi, KT News, County of Kirinyaga.
County number 020. Now, amid the public outcry, the Council of Governors has now dismissed the Auditor General's latest reports as inconclusive. The Council Chair and Meru Governor Peter Munya says the findings of the reports can only be binding after the county governments and assemblies submit their reviews of the audit.
Conclusions are premature because the audit cycle is not yet concluded. The audit cycle ends when the Senate committee sits down, calls both parties, looks at the fact and concludes there are indeed anomalies in the spending. Sometimes when the audit is being done, some of the facts are not very clear. Sometimes the information is not available in good time. Sometimes it's done in the middle of the year when every issue has not been. So really, all I'm saying is until the oversight bodies, the county assemblies and the Senate conclude on this matter and produce the final report and they confirm the findings of the Auditor General, it is premature to conclude that what is contained in the report is factual.